How are we doing, guys? Always to be Leeds versus QPR match preview of the game. So it's interesting coming into this game. There's a lot of news coming into this game. So I've filmed this after Marcelo Bielsa's press conference deliberately because there's a lot of different bits of information that has come out of the press conference. So for starters, Pablo Hernandez is back this weekend. Absolutely fantastic news. There's some potential injury worries, but there is a possibility that AKKA is starting this game. So that's a very interesting development straight away. There's a lot of different things coming into this game. Of course, I've seen QPR's form 90 before the Brentford game, so a lot to talk about in this preview for the QPR game. It was a massive game. It's sort of a massive run of fixtures for Leeds to really get ourselves back on track and get our season back on track and get that feel-good factor back at Leeds. But just to start off with, guys, this video is sponsored by AKKA Tips. Now, you will have heard Conor mention this before in the Sheffield Wednesday preview, but just to make clear, AKKA Tips is not a betting website. AKKA Tips is an artificial intelligence-based website which provides predictions and information into upcoming fixtures. So it helps you get more informed betting decisions. It gives little bits and tips and information, all different kinds of information. You know, all the information you need going into a game, really. You know, it takes various different kind of variables into making the predictions, you know, the probabilities of certain results. It helps, it really does help. You know, say if there's a bet where you're looking at and you're thinking 50-50, you're kind of thinking, you know, part of you wants to say for example, the game this weekend, you know, part of you wants to say a Leeds win, another part of you is thinking, you know what, Leeds aren't in great form, it'll be a draw this game, or Leeds will lose this game. AKKA Tips will help provide different bits of information and variables going into this game. So what might ultimately seem like a really good bet on paper, you know, might not be a good bet at all, and vice versa. You know, what might seem like a really bad bet might be a really wise bet. So AKKA Tips does help provide different bits of information. But AKKA Tips have provided a 14-day free trial. If you follow the link down in the description down below, and you can see what AKKA Tips is all about. Well, this QPR game is the start of a really big period for Leeds, you know, big 5-6 games coming up. If you haven't checked out already, make sure you check out Conor's predictions on these games coming up into these next 5-6 games. It's a massive next 5-6 games. You know, it's a big opportunity to put points on the board for me. You know, we're playing a lot of teams that are out of sorts, a lot of teams that are out of form, a lot of teams that are down there at the bottom end of the table. You know, I think pretty much every team we're playing is at the bottom end of the table or below mid-table. So it's a big opportunity to put points on the board. I know the Championship doesn't work like that at times. You know, sometimes, you know, we do see surprising results. We do see results we don't expect. You know, absolutely 100%. That is the Championship at the end of the day. You know, it's a tough league to know what's going to happen. But ultimately, you have to look at this and say, if we really want to achieve promotion this season, we need to put a run together in these next 5-6 games. Because we're looking at Christmas. Christmas is horrible. You know, we're playing Fulham away, then 3 days later Preston at home, 3 days after that Birmingham away, and then 3 days after that West Brom away, and that's over the Christmas New Year period. So that's going to be a really tough four games. You know, especially the way that we don't tend to rotate very much, play very high intense brand of football. That's going to be a very big, tricky run of games where we could potentially be dropping points, and we don't want to go into that run of games, especially. And even before that, you know, if we're playing Cardiff, Huddersfield, Hull, all teams that are kind of slowly picking up as well since sort of like the last couple of weeks. So they're going to be much more difficult games than maybe what they look like at the minute. So, you know, look at these next 5-6 games have been very important, you know, to really relieve the pressure going into that Christmas period, because we're going into that Christmas period needing results and chasing the, you know, the top 2, top 3. I'm concerned, I'll be honest, I'm concerned because we've got some very difficult games to put a run of form together. And no matter what anyone says, I know the Championship is unpredictable. When you've got a run of games like that, it makes it really hard work if you need results out of those games, rather than it being a bonus getting results out of those games. So we need to relieve the pressure as much as we can and build confidence. You know, that's another big thing. You know, if we're going into that run of games around December and we're low on confidence, you know, we've had another sort of like 6-7 games where we've maybe not quite been at our best, we've not quite picked up the results we should have done, we've dropped some silly points here and there, we've not been totally convincing. You know, like the last couple of games have been, I would be a little bit worried because we need to be 100% on it going into that Christmas period, you know, and be in a healthy position, really. You know, so if the worst does come to the worst, because it's quite possible we could lose a couple of games over Christmas, that we're not in a too bad a position after that. And it was like around this time last season we were on the 7-game winning run. I think it started after West Brom away, which was just at the start of November. So it's a similar kind of stage to last season where we were on that 7-game winning run, and that put us in a really good position over Christmas. You know, we didn't have a good Christmas, but because we had that 7-game winning run, we lost a couple of games over Christmas, but we were still in a very strong position because we had that momentum built up. So yeah, I think it is going to be another big, you know, run of games. I think historically with Marcelo Bielsa team, this sort of stage of the season is when Marcelo Bielsa teams do tend to really move. You know, we saw it Marseille especially. Marseille really started to pick up in this sort of second quarter, if you like, of the season. They really did start to pick up points. We saw the same things at Bilbao, and then I think we saw the same things as well at Newell's Old Boys as well. So he does tend to pick up points in this sort of like second quarter of the season. And of course, we saw it last season. We picked up probably our best run of form in that second quarter of last season. Between sort of November and December, really started to make some momentum. Performance-wise, everything was spot on. Mentality was really good too. So it's a massive run of games, absolutely no doubt about it. But looking at this QPR game, I think I was looking at QPR on Monday. I think the simple assessment is same as what Joe Wainman said. Good at the back. Sorry. I think the assessment has to be is exactly what Joe Wainman said. Great going forward, QPR, awful at the back. I think the whole back four looks like making mistakes. I think the whole back four's got errors in them. No matter who plays in that back four, I think they all look like making mistakes. They all look like leaving spaces, and it looks like a real opportunity for us to get some goals from this game. To really create some chances and play with some confidence. But at the same time, we've got to be aware of what QPR offer on the attack. Erichibiese has probably been one of the players of the season so far. Such a good creative player. I know QPR got beat on Monday, but you can see what a dangerous player he is. He loves playing those little pockets of space. He's got a shot in him. He can create from open play. He can create from set pieces. He's got a real danger about him. He can shoot from distance. He can get into the box. He makes clever little bits of movement. He's a really, really good number 10. He's probably been the best number 10 in the league so far this season. And yeah, he's really a really dangerous player. Nahki Wells has had a good start to the season. He's been scoring goals. He's looking like a threat. He has a good record against us. We have to definitely take that seriously as well. Bryce Samuel as well, really dangerous player as well on the right. He's got a lot of pace about him. And Bryce Samuel as well on the right hand side, very, very dangerous player, very direct runner. He does put a defensive shift in as well, so he will be tracking the left back. Probably will be playing that right hand side, and he has got the potential to cause trouble in this game. He will sort of interchange with Eze to try and confuse us a little bit. So it's going to be a very difficult game for defensively, keeping this QPR team quiet. So it's going to be an interesting game from the point of view that QPR are one of the highest scorers in the league against ourselves defensively. Because I think no matter what you say about the last 6 or 7 games, I don't think we've been particularly great these last 6 or 7 games. Certainly compared to what we produced before, the first 5 or 6 games. I don't think we've been at our best in an attacking sense, but defensively throughout the season we've been exceptional. We're consistently conceding very few chances in games, and that's a very, very good sign for me. Obviously, Kiko I think has been much improved the last couple of weeks, so I don't think really the last couple of games we look like conceding. We've had little against Preston it was quite unlucky how we conceded. It's a deflection on the counter attack. It fell to Preston. It fell Preston's way. It could have happened to any team that, but I've not really seen us give away a goal. Many goals this season. We've not given away many goals this season. We're not giving away many spaces. If a team's going to create against us, they've really got to work for it. We've really got to battle for it. So I feel comfortable to an extent in the defensive sense. I think we're probably one of the best equipped teams in the league to deal with Eze. Of course, we've got KP in the front of the back four. He's probably doing the man marking job on Eze. And then you've got Ben White, Liam Cooper back. Massive boost that as well. Liam Cooper coming back in the team. I didn't even mention that at the start of the video. Massive boost. Of course, he's fully fit now to start games. He played the under-23s during the week. He confirmed himself. He feels good. He's quick to recover from injuries. He feels ready. It's always a boost having your captain back in the team. He's been absolutely exceptional this season. He's been absolutely exceptional the last 18 months. Absolutely no questions about that for me. Probably our most consistent player over the last 18 months. Other than maybe KP, I have to say he's been absolutely exceptional. So I think with that three, Phillips, White, Cooper, we have that sort of like triangle to try and deal with Eze, and Wells. We have got that. I do fancy us to win that battle. It's not going to be easy at all, but I think we're probably the best equipped team in the league to deal with that. But in the attacking sense, I think Pablo's a big boost. I think looking at it as a team, I think most likely the system, the team is going to be on the basis that Barry Douglas, Alioski, and Patrick Bamford are out for this game. It's not been by any means confirmed as of yet, but they are all doubts going into this game. But I think if they are out of this game, I think it's looking very like we're going to go with a 4-1-4-1 system. Back to the back four, which I think we're better with anyway. Probably Kiko Casilla, Luke Ayling right back, Ben White, Liam Cooper centre backs. I'm pretty certain Liam Cooper will come in for Gaetano Berardi. Left back, I'd imagine it would be Stuart Dallas. Stuart Dallas has done the job there before for us, of course, most famously in the playoff semi-final for us. He was absolutely exceptional over both games. He was the only person who really turned up in both games. Holding midfield, I think it would be KP. On the right, I think Helder Costa is going to pick up his place. Marcelo was very, very praising AKKA. He thinks he's really growing into it. And I think I have to say, AKKA's showing some real glimpses. He just has to show it more consistently now for me. He has to show that Wolves form on a more consistent basis. You know, even during games, you know, he's showing glimpses. You know, when he does certain good things, you know, I love the way he goes inside. He makes those lovely jinxing runs inside. You know, from out to in, you know, in to out. You know, he just really confuses the fullbacks, and the fullbacks have to pass AKKA onto the midfield, and it causes that little bit of confusion. It causes those overloads out wide or in the middle. I like what AKKA does in that sense. I just want to see more end products at the end of it. You know, more. You know, what he's capable of. You know, we know we've got an exceptional talent there in AKKA. We just need to make sure we're getting the absolute best out of him. But I think, you know, with that, you know, I think obviously Pablo coming back, it's a big booster. So I expect to be Klich and Pablo in the middle. Probably Pablo playing slightly higher up and Klich dropping back into his best position. A massive boost as well. Mateusz Klich playing him in more of his 8 role. You know, he's playing deeper. He's trying to dictate the football match. And Pablo playing just in front. I know Pablo's probably better on the right side. It was a big boost having Pablo back in the team. For the simple fact that, you know, Klich's moving deeper. We've got a bit more creativity. AKKA's got that passing option. Pablo's got that passing option to AKKA. So I think that's a boost as well. I think on the left it will of course be Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison I think has been massively improved last couple of weeks. You know, he's making things happen. He's works in his end products. He is making things happen. You know, he created our best chance of the game on Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday. He was unlucky not to score. You know, with his weak foot, he had a lovely clearance off the line of Sheffield Wednesday. He was unlucky not to score. And then up top, I think it's going to be Eddie Nketiah, to be honest. I think it will be Eddie Nketiah if Patrick Bamford's not available. So I look at that team and you think the main thing I look at is we've probably got the most creative player in the division, you know, over the last couple of seasons in Pablo Hernandez, and we've probably got one of the best finishers in the league in Eddie Nketiah, which we haven't been starting with for the last 6 or 7 games. As much as the last 6 or 7 games have been a bit disappointing result-wise, the performances have still mostly been decent. You know, of course, they're not being anywhere near our best, but they've still been decent. They've probably done enough to win more games than what we actually have. You know, I think our expected points is something like 32, 33 points, and we picked up actually 25. So, you know, I know expected points, expected goals, you know, people have their opinions on those, but at the end of the day, things find the balance, and the balance for us is that we're a better team than what the table suggests. You know, okay, we're not fully at our best. I don't think we're at last season's sort of performance standards in terms of control of football matches, in terms of chance creation as such. Certainly the last couple of weeks maybe not been creating the same quality of chances on the same regular basis. You know, that's just from what I've seen. You know, I'm not using that on a statistical point of view. I'm just saying I think we are a better team than what the table suggests. And you know, I do think we have got the quality to finish in the top 2 this season. I think this league is poor quality, and we've got to be aiming for that now this season. I think it's probably one of the poorest quality championships in living memory this season. So it's a big opportunity for us this time around. But I think with Pablo back, our best creator, plus our best finisher in Eddie, we've got a real chance to score goals now. Of course, we've got people like Ty Roberts on the bench. And yeah, we might even have Paddy Bamford, Barry Douglas, Alioski available for this game if they can be fully fit. There wasn't any news, I don't think, of Jamie Shackleton as such, but it'd be interesting if he's back in the squad for this one. So yeah, we've got options now. We have got options to try and change this game. You know, I think certainly with the starting 11, I'm more happy with that starting 11. I think it's more balanced. I think it solves a lot of the problems. You know, we've got creativity and Pablo coming in. We've got Eddie Nketiah coming in. Hopefully, the finisher. Somebody who scores goals, somebody who looks like making things happen in the football match. You know, he doesn't necessarily need the service either. You know, we saw against Sheffield Wednesday, we weren't doing much on the ball, but Eddie was still making things happen. You know, he was still creating chances for others. He looks an exceptional talent to me, and someone I definitely want to see more of as the season goes on. He's someone I definitely fancy to go on the goal run if he can get that run starts. But yeah, I think we're doing a lot of the right things. You know, it's something I have said. You know, we have done a lot of the right things. You know, certainly the last 2 games have been positives for me. I was a little bit frustrated after Sheffield Wednesday that, you know, we went a little bit more defensive towards the end of the game because I felt that was a game we could have won. But look, 2 points unbeaten against the top 4 away from home in 2 games in quick succession has to be a big positive. And against Preston, I felt we outplayed them. So I do think everything has to find its balance. It's something Marcel Bielsa is very keen on. Balance. You know, something that he's always talked about. You know, everything finds its balance at the end. You know, he's sort of, certainly for his time at Marseille, you know, we saw in his documentaries and that lot, it's something he very, very keenly drills into the players. Everything finds its balance in the end, and he will still be fully believing that. Okay, as I've said, we've not been quite at our usual levels, but we've still done enough to win a lot more games than what we actually have. You know, we've been unlucky, you know, against Derby, against Forest, against Swansea to an extent. You know, we deserve more than that. We probably you can make a case for us winning all 3 games, and we didn't do a lot wrong in those games. Just certain key moments went against us. We didn't quite handle very well. But really, I do feel confident in this team. You know, we've got good players coming back into the team. We've got a favourable run of fixtures, I feel. You know, on paper, I do feel a favourable run of fixtures. I think we're more better suited to playing these, you know, teams that... I don't expect QPR to defend against us either. I think Mark Warburton's teams are very attack-minded. The only thing I do worry about a little bit is we might see a little bit less of the ball than we usually would, because Mark Warburton's teams do like to play out the back, are very much possession-based teams, very expressive. Okay, it's going to test us defensively, but I do think it leaves us big opportunities to attack QPR defensively. You know, certainly look at what Brentford did to him. You know, with the front three, I thought the front three caused a lot of problems. I just want to see that same fluidity with ourselves. You know, hopefully with Click and Pablo just in front, we are going to see that fluidity. I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But guys, it's an absolutely massive game, this one. It's a difficult one to call, but I do think, you know, if we want to achieve something this season, we've got to really put ourselves on this run. You know, we've got to really make sure we get the rewards we deserve. You know, maybe if we don't, maybe we're not playing an absolute 10 out of 10 every game, but if we keep doing what we're doing, with these adjustments to the team, I lose faith if we don't get results these next couple of weeks, because we've scientifically look at it. You know, you've got your best finisher, your best creator. You're playing we're still playing pretty well. We're still playing, creating 3 or 4 chances of the game. Added into having better finishers and better chance creators in the team. Surely now we're going to get the rewards we deserve. We're going to go on the run of form. You know, hopefully we're just going to put that run of form together, because we've threatened it. We've threatened it all season. You know, since sort of that Stoke away game, we have been inconsistent. Let's be honest, we have been inconsistent. 12 points from 9 isn't good enough, but we have really threatened to go on that run of form. We just need to put 2 games together now, 3 games together, 4 games together, and the confidence builds from that. You know, there's still a little bit of a hangover effect from last season, but if we put that run of game form together these next couple of weeks, I'm feeling really confident, guys. And I'm absolutely buzzing for this game. You know, it's 2 games at Ellen Road. Let's get ourselves 2 wins. Let's put ourselves in that really good position before the international break, and really put pressure on the rest of the championship. You know, it's a real opportunity. You know, look at that league, and I'm thinking, I don't see any team winning 2 or 3 games in a row. We've got opportunities now to really prove we are the best team in this league, and that's not me being arrogant. You know, I genuinely do feel that has to be the ambition this season. You know, with the league not being the best quality, we've got to really show that ambition this season for me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Make sure you check out AKKA Tips. Link in the description down below. The 14-day free trial. Make sure you check them out and see what you think about it, guys. See you later, guys.